good people. Welcome to Raw Vegan Rising. My name is Shane Sterling. How you doing today? Thank you so much for being on this video with me. This video is a part 2 to the last video I released, which is Ready to Go Raw Vegan, 10 Common Beginner Questions. I had a lot of responses and people wrote in, so I wanted to continue the conversation and provide as much helpful information as possible to people who are interested in the concepts and the details of how to thrive as a raw vegan. So this comment came in: would you please talk about B12 and vitamin D in a future video? Possibly do a part 2 of this video. Thank you so much. Well, I am going to do a part 2 to this video, and I appreciate the comment. I'm going to talk about B12 and vitamin D3, but first I wanted to address a comment that came in that's really the most important comment to address, in my opinion. The person says, I was fruitarian and my body deteriorated. Muscle loss, muscle fatigue, hair loss, premature aging, insomnia, always hungry, exacerbated depression, dizzy, bloated, turkey neck, yikes, grainy skin texture. Being back on meat, dairy, and eggs reversed all of that. So first of all, I want to say my deepest condolences for this person's health problems. I mean, when we try to do something that's healthy for our body, but end up experiencing all of that, how discouraging. That's horrible. So I'm so sorry you experienced that. I don't know what you mean by fruitarian. Of course, I can't see exactly what someone is eating, so there's a little bit of an unknown there. But personally, I don't consider myself a fruitarian. And there's a lot of variables on the definition of fruitarian, but I like to eat fats and I like to eat greens and vegetables. And I think the widest variety of nutrient-dense foods as possible is going to be optimal for our health. And also, this person saying that their body deteriorated. I mean, what this makes me think is that we're disconnected from our bodies. We're disconnected from the wisdom of how our body works. And we can see this in our society today. People are sick and diseased, and obese and don't know how to eat, don't know what to eat, and we get ourselves in trouble. And there could be nothing further from the truth that our body is broken, that our body doesn't know what to do, that our body isn't wise. Our body knows exactly what to do. Our body has infinite wisdom, the infinite wisdom of the divine that created it. So all we have to do is get out of the way of the body. The body needs to eliminate properly to not have disease. The number one thing that eating grains, processed foods, meat, dairy, and eggs creates in the body is constipation, congestion, and poor elimination. So we accumulate this waste. What we're not eliminating, we're accumulating. So we've accumulated a lifetime of acids, waste, heavy metals, toxicity, pesticides, and then all of a sudden we eat raw food, we eat fruit, right? And what happens? The systems of elimination start to work. Our body's elimination system starts to release the toxins. What does that do? That comes out as a healing crisis. So when we experience things like muscle loss, fatigue, hair loss, insomnia, these are really common. I experienced all of these exact symptoms myself. I swear, this list is exactly what I experienced on my detox symptoms during my detox phase. But I didn't give up because I was following the leadership and the mentorship of other raw vegans that had gone before me. I knew it was possible. I knew I had to get through the detox phase, and I knew that my body knew how to heal, knew how to cleanse. All I had to do was get out of its way and allow it to do what it knows what to do, which is eliminate. Our blood brings the nutrition into the cells, and the lymphatic system brings the waste away from our cells. If the waste doesn't have anywhere to go, what happens? It backs up in our body and makes us sick. That's what really creates premature aging. That's what really creates chronic fatigue issues, and real hair loss in life. Okay, temporary hair loss because your body's detoxing and it's got to let go of these dead cells to know how to regenerate the cells. I mean, that's just a normal part of how our body works. So we don't ever want to make the mistake that our body doesn't know what to do, that our body is broken, that our body is struggling to be healthy. It doesn't struggle to be healthy when we give it open channels of elimination, proper nutrition in and proper elimination out. Then the body knows what to do. We would not have disease in our culture, in our lives, if we had proper elimination. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. So eating a diet high in fruits, a fruitarian diet, a raw vegan diet is going to allow our body to eliminate properly. And then we get these things, in depression, raw foods heals the gut microbiome. It brings so much extra energy into our body that it really is one of the number one ways to heal and cure depression. It's even talked about in Harvard medical journals about how the gut-brain connection and inflammation from diet creates depression and anxiety. The most anti-inflammatory diet on the planet is raw foods. The things that heal the gut and create a healthy gut-brain connection and allow our body to create all the positive, healthy hormones that create good vibrations, good feelings in our body, all heal depression. And of course, we get bloated when we first go to raw food because we're dealing with changing our gut microbiome. We have bacteria in there that we've lived with our whole life. So of course, changing the microbiome and changing the physiology of our body is a big undertaking. It's not an easy thing. And we can get symptoms as we change our literal biology. We can get symptoms that seem like health deteriorating when in fact, it's the first stage of our health improving. So we don't ever want to make the mistake that our health is actually deteriorating when our health is actually improving. So we've got to make it through detox. We've got to trust that our body has infinite wisdom and our body is not broken. And what we get out of it on the other side is a connection to our body that we have never known before, a connection to the divine wisdom that created our body that we've never known before, and a divine connection to everything around us that we can't feel when we are energetically being oppressed by the foods we eat, the toxic foods, the acid wastes and grains and legumes and starches and meat and dairy and eggs. These foods bring our vibration down, they bring our energy levels down, and they introduce acid waste, toxicity, and congestion in the body. All right, I'm going to read another question here. Let's see. Can you make a video about the supplements you take? Okay, yes, I'm going to talk about the supplements I take. I have a supplements section on my Amazon store. If you go to amazon.com/shop/rawveganrising, click on supplements, you can see the supplements that I take personally and that I recommend for a raw vegan diet because let's face it, I live in North America. People live all over the world. We don't live near the equator. We should probably be taking D3 supplementation at least somewhat. And not everyone needs to take vitamin D3. But if you're just transitioning, why not? And if you're not sure about how your body is absorbing and utilizing and converting nutrition that you're taking in until your body heals and regenerates and cleans out, it's a good idea. So this is what I take, which is a plant-based D3 K2 combo. It's really great. I really like it. It's in coconut oil. I have this in my Amazon store. I personally take this because I live in North America, and it's recommended that everybody takes D3. I don't take a lot of it, but why not? Why not take something to ensure our health? Okay, this is a vegan one, and K2 is synthesized in our body by our bacteria, okay, in the gut. But if we don't have a healthy gut microbiome and we're eating heavy animal products, we're not going to be converting K2 properly, which is why people who eat animal products think you need to eat animal products to get D3 and B12 and K2, but it comes from our bacteria. It comes from our gut, which synthesizes these and converts these nutrients from the foods that we eat. So again, this is why we have to trust our body's infinite wisdom. Okay, now this is the B12 I take. this is a blend of the most bioavailable types of B12 that there are. And I saw a great presentation by Anthony William, the medical medium, on B12. This is the one he recommended. I tried it and I absolutely love it. Now, you know how much of this I take? It says on here to take a dropper full every day, or half dropper full a day is the recommended dose. You know what I take? I take 1 drop a week. 1 drop a week. This bottle right here will last me 6 months or more, 8 months, I don't know, a year. I haven't even made it through this bottle yet. This is my second bottle, but literally 1 drop a week. Our body needs so little B12, especially if you're eating raw fruits and vegetables from the garden. Our body synthesizes B12 from the bacteria, okay? So it's a really good idea to eat sprouts that you grow yourself in compost, because then you're getting those microorganisms right off of the soil that then help your gut make B12. Okay, and B12 doesn't come from animals, it's that animals synthesize B12 in their guts too. And the feed that goes into the farm animals is fortified with B12. All right, so we don't want to mistake the fact that B12 comes from bacteria. It's in our drinking water, it's in well water. Okay, it's on everything. If we go play in the dirt, if we play outside, we're getting the natural microorganisms that help us make B12. And it's in the garden. If we grow organic food and if we're eating organic food, we're getting the microorganisms that help us synthesize B12 in our body, okay? So we don't need to take B12. But if you're just transitioning, if you're coming from a sad diet, if you're coming from a lifetime of bad food, help your body, help your body transition and take a B12 supplement until you get your body regenerated and restored, okay? Now, my favorite supplements, the fulvic humic mineral blend, okay? This is my favorite supplement because minerals are the key to life. Minerals are the key to every metabolic function in the body. And what I truly, if I say that I take supplements, when people ask me, do you take supplements? I always say I take minerals. So this one's great because it's very tasteless. You can just drink it right out of the bottle. It's a dark brown liquid. It's really good. I highly recommend this supplement, minerals. I also take shilajit, which is a black tar-like substance, which is supposed to have like 80 out of the 100 known minerals to mankind. This is a very, very high mineral content product. It's like a black tar. It dissolves in water. It comes from the Himalayan mountains. It's harvested in the mountains. It tastes like tar. It's not very tasty, but it is a mineral supplement. And cultures around the world praise shilajit for its life-giving properties, increasing libido. It's big with men in like India and other countries. But personally, it's a mineral supplement. I like minerals, so that's what I take, And like I said, I only take 1 drop of B12 like every week, if that. Sometimes I'll go months without even thinking about B12 because I've never taken, in 29 years of being mostly vegan, 15 years of being strict vegan, 2 years of being raw vegan, I've never even focused on B12 or any supplement. Honestly, at one point I went 15 years without ever taking a supplement at all. And it's only since I've been really focused on my health in a complete whole way as a raw vegan that I start to see maybe some advantages in supplementing things like maybe D3 because I live in North America. And there's times of the year where I'm not getting maybe adequate sunlight and just supporting my body so it can truly thrive rather than supplementing because I'm deficient in nutrients or because my diet is deficient in nutrients. I don't believe that a diet of whole raw fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds is deficient in anything. What's deficient is our body's ability to utilize and digest and absorb that food and how we're growing that food. Is the food rich in minerals? Is the soil rich in microorganisms? Everything's sprayed, and the soil is depleted in minerals. So that's really where we should be supplementing. And that goes for everybody, whether we're eating animal products or not. Okay, so that's my take on supplements. All right, another question. Do you recommend going 100% raw cold turkey or transitioning to say 95% raw and 5% cooked? Vegan, obviously. Good. Which is better in your opinion? Thanks. Great video, by the way, newbie here, and this was really instructive and inspiring. Thank you so much for the comment. Honestly, transitioning to a raw vegan diet depends on your physiology, your health, and your personality style. Some people do well with cold turkey. That's me. I did well with cold turkey. I've quit caffeine, alcohol, tobacco, sugar, all cold turkey. Okay, so for me that works. But if you're coming from a diet that's got your body compromised and you're not in good health, then a slower transition might be better, because again, it's about cleansing, it's about elimination. If we start in on fruits and our body starts to cleanse too quickly and eliminate all of a sudden, we can have a health crisis. And we don't need to burden our body further. We can eat 80%, 20%, right? 80% raw, 20% cooked for a year if we wanted to transition. And I think that's a really good way to do it, and to keep that in mind, that 80% of your calories from raw living foods and 20% of your calories from, cooked vegetables, steamed potatoes, things like that, could be a really good way to transition and get your body, healing, get your body eliminating, get your energy up, get your frequency up. And you could do that for quite a period of time in order to transition. And 80% living foods is going to be immensely beneficial for anyone who does that. You're going to feel health benefits. You're going to increase your sense of connection to the divine, like I always talk about. That's enough. You're going to feel it, okay? And yeah, once you start to really feel the feelings of 80% raw, then what's that little extra 20% when you want to just really take it to the next level? So that's a good way to transition, is to do 80% living foods. Okay, but again, it depends on who you are, what your personality is like, and what your health is like. I had been vegan for 29 years. I had been strict vegan for 15 consecutive years in a row. When I went raw, I already was in good health, to be honest. Spending a lifetime away from meat, dairy, and eggs has worked wonders for me. And I'm very grateful that I tuned into being vegan when I was young, and that I've stuck with it, and that I've felt that conviction my whole life. I went vegan for the animals first, and I slowly over time figured out that raw food is how you truly make your body healthy. Okay? All right. Last question. Why do some doctors say that vegan or raw vegan isn't a good diet for everyone? Or why does it appear to work for some people and not for others? What is going wrong for the people who raw veganism doesn't work for? It's a great question. Why do doctors recommend eating meat, dairy, and eggs for health? They're indoctrinated into the system, like we all are. They eat meat, dairy, and eggs, at home. So they're not aware of how to heal the body. They're not aware of health. Doctors are great for setting bones, for surgery, for, emergency type repairing of the body situations. Thank goodness for the emergency rooms in hospitals around the world to help people in emergency situations. But when it comes to healing the body, when it comes to health, our medical mainstream narrative knows nothing about how the body works. The mainstream medical institution doesn't even know anything about the lymphatic system, the waste removal system of our body. So we can't turn to others as an authority. We can't turn to others to say, tell me how to do it. Doctors don't know. No one knows, because true wisdom, true healing, true health on an exponential level that takes us out of the mundane and puts us into a metaphysical level where we're really transcending our physical limitations, that's an inner journey. That's an inner process. It's only something that we can do with ourselves, for ourselves alone. It's not something that we can embark on with our doctor. Our doctor is parroting a narrative that comes down through the medical schools. The medical schools are owned by the pharmaceutical industry. The textbooks are written by the pharmaceutical industry. They're indoctrinated into a system that harms our health, just like everybody else is. And one day, humanity is going to really understand that confining and killing animals for food is detrimental to our health and detrimental to the planet. It's inevitable that that's going to happen. So, if we're early adopters, if we're ones who are waking up first, what we have to do is, do our best to give a helping hand to others who are just before us on the journey, people who are just waking up, people who are just having inklings that, maybe I shouldn't be eating animal products for my health. And for those people, we want to just reach out. We want to say, hey, we're here. We're here. People who are thriving on a vegan diet, people who are thriving on raw foods, raw living foods, to bring our consciousness, our awareness, our physical health to the highest level possible, and to really become the humans that we're designed to be, transcending out of this limitation that we see in our world around us today. Okay, so we can't trust others for our own knowledge. We can't trust doctors for the definitive answer on health, and why raw food would work for someone and not somebody else comes down to physiology. Really, it comes down to physiology. Everybody has a different level of degeneration happening in their body. That could be genetic, coming down the family line. Diseases don't run in families. Diet and lifestyle run in families. So if your family has a history of heart disease and cancer, your disposition is heart disease and cancer because you're going to be trained to eat the same foods and live the same lifestyle that they lived. Okay? So if you have genetic weaknesses, if you have genetic dispositions to diseases, that's when the differences come into play. Okay, some people might be healthier than others, might experience different cleansing symptoms, might have a different level of healing crisis. Okay? But if you detox the body slowly over time, like me being mostly vegan for 29 years, slowly but surely your body starts to regenerate. That's why I was able to go raw vegan, cold turkey, and thrive as a raw vegan, because I had already invested in years and years and years and years in my life in being vegan, in eating whole food, eating healthy food. I've been health conscious my whole life, so I believe that our biology is all the same. We have one diet, a diet that is specific to our species, a species-specific diet. You don't see snakes in nature all eating different foods, and you don't see wild horses in nature all eating different diets. That's not how it works. We have foods that work for our biology, but we've become confused. Cooking our food has confused us into not understanding what our proper diet is, what our species-specific diet is, which is raw fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, not cooked, not processed, not, fouled up by mankind's doing, but really left to the divine perfection that Mother Nature provides for us. Just like every other species on planet Earth, they don't eat cooked food, and neither should we. So the reason that snakes don't need different diets and horses in the wild don't need different diets is because they're eating whole, raw foods. So everybody's going to have a different experience, but we have a diet that is specific to us. And when we eat healthy and we open up the channels of elimination, our body works properly. So that's the continuation of part 2. That's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for being on this video with me. I really appreciate it. Please feel free to chime in the comments section and offer your opinions, your experiences, your 2 cents. I love hearing people talk with each other. So chime in, create the conversation, offer your experience, offer your knowledge in the comments. It helps others. It helps people coming to this video in the future who might need a helping hand, who might need information. So the more we talk about it, the more we discuss it, the better off we all are. We're only as strong as our weakest link. I am no stronger than the person who is struggling the worst out in the world, a homeless person, a child who is starving, someone who is struggling to just get up every day and feel like life is worth living. I am that person. So we all take on the collective consciousness. We all take on where the lowest vibration is at, okay? That's why we have to work to raise the vibration of humanity, all right? It's a worthwhile cause. So chime in, leave a comment, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.